Okay, we're going to start out with our very first Gwent match versus the scholar from Oxenfurt. And he likes to use the Nilfgaardian Empire, so we're going to see how we can counter against that. One thing I think they have is they're heavy in the front too, like the ones with the sword and the ones with the bow, so we'll have to look at ways to counter that, possibly with weather, depending on what we draw. I'm leaving these 3 cards out right here because they're the really low numbers, and we don't want those. We want to try to get our high numbers first. The deck we're using to start out is pretty balanced. You can see we got quite a few swords, quite a few range units, and then we got quite a few siege units as well. And we'll see. We're trying to hopefully have too many weather cards. We'll see how it goes when we start the game. Let's go ahead and start here. And our opponent's going to go first. We got the decoy, impenetrable fog, clear weather. Clear weather we don't need because we already have this leadership card right there, which is the same thing. Fog could be good because if our opponent has a lot of bows. Of course, if we have a lot of bows, it's a disadvantage. These 2 cards right here can be combined, so they'll be increased in value. So the question is, what do we want to get rid of? Let's see, we have 1, 2, I think there's 3 siege units I counted total. So I'm going to keep the siege expert. I think I'm going to keep the decoy, because then what I can do with the decoy is I can use the medic twice to revive a card, which gives an advantage. So it looks like what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get rid of this 2 card right here, because that doesn't do a lot for us. Excuse me. So go ahead and start. I like to initially start out with low cards and kind of see how it plays out. Since we have the fog, I'm going to play the ranged or the arrow card first. And our opponent is using a bunch of ranged arrow cards. Now one option is I could decoy out, but then that negates the medic later on. Let's see, what do I want to do? I'll just play these swords and see how it goes. Yes, I played Into the Biting Frost. I think my plan is to use the King's leadership ability, or use full test leadership ability to negate the Biting Frost. Now we have a 15-8 lead. And our opponent has used a bunch of arrows or range units, so I'm going to play the fog to negate that, and we might actually pull ours out, or we can pull it out later. I think it might actually be a better strategy to pull it later because we have the extra card. Don't like the clear weather. Might have to revise that strategy. Let's see here. I'm just going to pass and see what they play. If I lose this round, I'll win the next round and hopefully win the 3rd round. And it looks like we're going to lose that round, but our opponent only has 2 cards left, so we just have to win 2 out of 3. Let's see what transpires here. Our opponent plays a 3 value card. We're going to play a 6 value card, and with the potential to play this in the medic. Looks like our opponent's played everything. This stinks because we have to use one of these cards, which isn't too bad. We'll just use the card of the 1. And our opponent's out of stuff, so okay. They pass, and we win this one. And now we just have to play the next round, and we win that. We're going to win that as well. And we have all these cards we can play of really high value. So that's one way to beat our opponent here. And of course we can, what I like about the decoy card, I know we've won, but I'm just going to show you some strategy here, is you can use that to take the medic back, and then you can use the medic again. So we use the medic a second time here. and we get a few points there. So that's an example of how you can use strategy to beat the opening opponent. Hopefully this video helps you. Once you play a little bit, you get a bit of a feel for it. Obviously, the deeper you get into the game, the more complex it'll get. It's kind of a fun game. It took me a while to get the hang of it, but once I started doing the math and everything, I kind of liked it. So thank you for watching, and have a good one.